back. We are
right.
back.
Hopefully you guys are enjoying the episode so far. You know, we're having a good time recording for you guys. So.
Yes. Yeah. And for those who are just joining us, shame on you. Just kidding. But I am your co-host, Precious Thomas.
Tim.
And I'm Ashley Jamil, and this is our podcast, In the Pursuit of Love.
That's right. Uh-oh. Somebody's excited.
Yes, I am. Yes. So, let's talk about expectations.
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 Of what?
Relationships and marriage.
Two things I don't know about.
I have not been married, so I can't talk about that, but
Expectations. And is it fair to go into a relationship having all these expectations, or should you just go with the flow and make them up as you go?
That's a good question. I think a combination of both. A lot of times people have unrealistic expectations, so that could lead you down the wrong path, especially if you haven't expressed it to someone else. So if you think the role of a man is this, but that's not what he thinks is his role, you have some problems, and vice versa.
So what is the role of a man?
Good question.
Oh my gosh.
No.
I think it differs, right?
No, I have an answer. But
okay. Well, I was going to say, I think it just depends on what type of man you're dating, as far as what expectations he may have for his significant other. So, I don't know if Tim can answer that for every man.
I know, right? I don't know.
Maybe what he...
I'm every woman. That's what y'all gonna say. I think, expectations of a woman. Are you saying, because I don't know what the expectation of a woman would have of a man outside of the basics of, being able to provide, being honest, faithful, loyal, and providing some sense of stability and direction, guidance. Yeah, that's all. I wrote that down earlier.
Wow, okay. It sounded good, though. It sounded good.
Yeah, but I think a lot of times it's more so women who have expectations of men, because guys pretty much accept women in most cases, as long as they look good.
Wow.
That's the truth.
As long as you look good, that's it.
For the most part, that's really, that used to be the case. That'd be 100% today, but it's still pretty high up there. Guys will give you a chance faster than a woman will give you a chance if all things are equal. In other words, let's say a woman doesn't have a great paying job. That's not necessarily going to be a barrier between the guy getting to know the woman. Whereas if, a guy is not making X amount of dollars, some women just totally discard it right when they give him a chance.
Okay.
Just a thought.
All right.
Yeah. I think that's fair. It's not fair.
You think that's fair? Okay.
I mean...
Well, y'all can speak up. Before I vote people.
Ashley, you want to ask before I ask?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. So, I guess I want to know more about what is man.
What is man? He is made up of atoms and particles.
Tim.
I think 50-something chromosomes. No. But what is a man? I think a man is like when you can take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? When you are in position to provide for yourself and eventually others. So I think there's not really an age limit on it, but when you take on the role of manhood, then you're a man. That's the most simplest definition. It's much deeper.
So putting yourself first?
Taking care of yourself first. In some sense of self-care. It's not necessarily putting yourself first, but you are in the first position to lead yourself first. So, yeah.
So should that be an expectation in a relationship?
To lead, yeah. But I don't know.
Not to lead,
yeah.
Well, that is
Yeah, I mean, because technically if you're marrying somebody, then you're trusting their leadership. If you're marrying a man, then I would assume that you believe he has some type of leadership capabilities.
Okay.
If not, you probably shouldn't be aligning yourself with a man that you don't feel is going anywhere, much less take you anywhere. So that's my political answer.
So do you think it's too much to expect that at the beginning?
to expect him to show leadership?
Yeah, those qualities in the beginning.
No, because it's either you have it or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, people already are. I mean, you'll find out more and more outside of what people say to you in time as you watch their actions. Because, of course, men and women say the best things when you first meet them.
Mm-hmm.
But over the course of time, you can see, oh, you're not really a leader. You're not handling your own business.
Mm-hmm.
So how you going to lead me?
Mm-hmm.
You'll help me.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So
in the beginning...
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So I was going to say, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, so what are your expectations of a man? We don't want to ask him all the questions, honey.
Oh,
We gotta get it. We gotta get it.
Oh, no, I'm going to ask you all the questions.
Yeah, oh, boy.
He's the only man. So what are your expectations
Rescue me. Come help me out.
of a relationship?
No, this is just me trying to understand. I'm not teaming up or doing any of that.
I understand.
I can handle it.
We don't want to be,
Hey.
I just feel like,
No, not teaming up, just wanting to understand.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm here to help.
Yes.
You here to help for all the men?
Yeah, I'm helping everybody. I'm helping.
You can handle it.
I can handle it. So what's your question?
That's what I was going to say. So, of course, in the beginning, like you said, everybody just put on this front, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So is it safe to say in the beginning, the expectation should be this person's a liar?
No.
What? Is that too much?
Yeah, that's way too much.
I think that's too much.
I need some receipts.
So, no, I mean, like, for me, like, if I meet somebody, I trust you to, whoever you present yourself as, that's how I'm taking you until proven otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't try to figure out, or telepathically try to figure out what you're about. I take you at face value. I think you should take everybody at face value until something changes.
Okay,
so it's up to you to divulge how much information you want to give to somebody. But ultimately, if you say you're an astronaut, I'm going to ask Ashley the astronaut.
Right.
Until I see otherwise. And see she came and drive a bus.
Right.
But then that falls on the line of, you being naive. Why would you even take the first thing that someone even says,
Well, that doesn't mean that you are... a better way to put it, it's not like... Because I'm taking you as you are, but that doesn't mean I'm completely believing everything. Mm-hmm. It's not mean that you're being deceived. But if you say you're this, then that's what I'm accepting you as. Mm-hmm. And that's what I said, in the course of time, you'll be able to see if that's true or not. But it's like, doesn't mean, you got to use common sense and wisdom too. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
So like, okay.
Okay.
One eye on you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because generally I'm coming out the gate as, telling a guy what I expect as far as like a guy that's honest. Because like a lot of times guys, and women do be lying when you first, meet them. And it's like, okay, I just want someone that's very honest, that's a nice guy. And when you show me, to me, I like you to be very blunt with me. So I want you to tell me, even if it hurts my feelings, tell me so I can know. I don't want to be, caught up in something and you could just told me the truth from the beginning. Like, I want you to just tell me.
But they say I'm protecting your feelings.
Just go and tell me.
There's some element of truth in that because you can't say everything that you're thinking, right?
But that I don't want to say find out, but somehow it's going to come out. Mm-hmm. It always does.
Depends on the time.
Depends on the time.
It depends on the time.
It depends. Because everybody says they want honesty, but how honest do you really want it?
I want it honest.
Very honest.
Okay.
Me.
Right.
Listen,
the majority of women, do you think 95% of women want a man to be completely honest with them about everything when they first
No.
Right.
No.
That's the point.
They can't take it.
But if I'm telling you that I want honesty, why won't you just give that to me? I'm telling you that.
Well, because again, it depends on the motivation behind why y'all meet. So it depends. Like if it's a situation that's leading in one direction, you're gonna get levels of honesty, degrees. There's levels to this because and some things are on a need to know basis. So it just depends on, I believe, fellas. So let me know, right?
If I'm right.
It's like it depends. Just like you don't divulge everything to somebody you just meet them. It depends on what's necessary.
Right. No, you just meet them. Right.
You may not go into like real detailed information until you determine it's actually worth it to even go down this road with you. Mm-hmm. This might just be a quick passing by. So to really get deep with you may not be necessary.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just think it's always good to communicate those expectations. Like, even though you don't know where this is going, if you just state that, you can't state that, but then your action shows I do want more. That's what I don't understand.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. Like being, I mean, honest as you can be. Now, granted, I don't want you ladies that's watching this to be mad at me. I'm just speaking.
Just the messenger.
I'm just speaking in general terms. But yeah, and I guess it depends on what you're looking for. Like, I guess if you meet somebody and you say, okay, I'm looking to get into a relationship, that would be a good opportunity to be honest. And say, you know, I'm just having a good time, or I'm just relaxing, or just dating.
Okay.
So it's up to you to interpret what dating means. If you meet a guy, he said, I'm dating. So you got to figure out, well, what does he mean by dating? Does that mean sleeping with other women? Does that mean seeing multiple women?
Of course, all the same thing.
Right. So I mean, if the guy told you that he's dating, how would you feel about that?
I'll kind of back off, to be honest.
But what if he wants to date you as well? How would you back off? Why is that a deal breaker? An early deal breaker?
Because it shows instability.
Really? He just met you.
Yeah, I understand that.
You could be crazy.
Yeah, but why do you want to get to know me?
You could be crazy. Right.
My thing is, why do you want? That's why I don't understand this whole dating thing. Because if you know what you want, you're not going to be entertaining more than one person. If you know what you want.
Where's that written?
That's not true for me.
Who wrote that?
That ain't true for me.
If I know that I'm going to be an actress, why am I over here trying to be a doctor? Why am I over here trying to be a nurse? Why am I doing all of these things that has nothing to do with my focus, my goal, what I want?
But like Tim just said, you could be crazy. He doesn't know you. So he has to get to know you. And the other ones, he dating too.
That's fine. But when I hear somebody say, you know, I'm dating multiple women, okay, well, I'm going to take a step back. I tell you, figure out what it is that you're doing, because you could be the kind of guy that's still on the hunt, like you're not settled. Because you could actually have a good woman on your arm, but you're so busy. So I got to try to figure him out.
Right.
Which means I got to hold my feelings in and not give too much away at that point when he tells me, oh, I'm seeing multiple people.
Right. That's something that happened to me.
Yeah, it happened to me too. So that's why I don't understand the whole dating thing. And no one has done a good job explaining it to me.
Well, dating is necessary. It's part of the process. Just like the courting process, they say back in the day. So it's a process. You could be dating with intention, or you could just be dating. But that's part of the process of getting to know people. Because now you're going to meet somebody and jump into a full-fledged relationship or marriage. So you have to take time to date them.
But do you really have time to date each one of those women? Really?
Right. No.
You don't have the time.
No.
You said
what they want. People make time to do what they want to do.
Right, but you don't have time for 3 women, 2 women.
It's okay, 3 and 4 women, like,
you don't have time for that.
Somebody gonna be neglected.
Right, somebody's gonna get neglected.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, eventually you do break it down, I'm assuming, to those who are more serious prospects. And you focus energy on the ones that has, potential.
So you saying it's best not to fall back, just stay in the race with the other 3, 4, 5 women that he's talking with?
Putting me out there.
I'm just saying.
But at the same time,
what you should do?
But if you meet somebody and you might be dating, so you know what I mean. So is he supposed to shut you out because you're dating? Dating doesn't equate having sex. What if he's dating other women just like you might be dating other guys?
I just see it differently.
How do you see it?
I date one person at a time.
One person.
Because my focus. Like, I don't have the focus or the attention span to entertain all these other people because I know what I want. And just by having a simple conversation with you, I can pick up immediately if I want to continue on with this.
All right, let's say you're on the dating site.
You're on the dating site? Okay.
You're on the dating site.
Okay.
You meet Joe Blow. Y'all hit it off. You got on a date. But then you also was messaging John Boy. Where these old names from? That's how you know you come with old names.
Joe
Blow and
John Boy.
John Boy. I think I had a little too much or something. This is crazy. John Boy, Waltons. Anyway.
Drink responsibly, people.
Yes.
Right.
But yeah, so let's say you are interested in two guys at the same time. You're getting to know, you equally know as much about A as you do B. If you go out with A and see, okay, it's possibly something there, but you're not exactly sure, would you totally cut off B, who's also very similar, something about him as well? You know what I mean? Like, would you give him opportunity to see, okay, well, who do I like? Who do I resonate better with?
Probably the new one. Because if the first one was doing his job, I wouldn't have to seek nobody else.
It's the first date. You can't.
But still, I do believe I believe in love at first sight. I do believe that to a certain extent. Yeah, to a certain extent.
TV show.
TV show.
I believe in that attraction. Like, oh, it's something here, and there's no reason for me to look anywhere else.
Yeah, lust is there. Yeah.
Not for me.
Yeah, and I have to kind of agree with,
But, there's also, like spirits, kindred spirits. So, you got to be careful with that because a lot of people could be, there is like initial attraction with some people that that's it. You know what I mean? Because you might connect with a lot of people.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that you should completely, well, I'm not telling you what you should or shouldn't do. But would it be wise to not even give an opportunity to guy B to see what he's about? Not that you're, going to make a hard decision, but to explore, okay, well, I like this, that, and the fourth about this one. Let me see what this guy's about.
Maybe that's a man thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I can't, it's hard for me to do that because my focus is, I just like to focus on one person. And if I see that he's not giving me what I need, even if it is the first date, second date, then I'm just going to let you go. And then I will be available to the next person.
It's harsh.
Yeah, because I actually agree with Tim on that one. I mean, especially if you first get to know somebody, like you said, you went out with A, you was getting to know B at the same time. It's kind of tricky. I mean, I wouldn't cut that one off, especially if you got to know them around the same time. I would just kind of see who's the better candidate, especially if you just get to know them. But if it's somebody you've been dating for a while, and then 3, 4, 5 other people come around, then that's different for me. It's like, okay, I'm a bow out because obviously you don't see who I am.
Right.
But if you just get to know somebody, I think I would be okay. Just try to see, who's the better candidate. So yeah.
So that all goes back to the dating thing. So that's the
which
whole,
I hate too sometimes. Yeah.
So yeah, that was that whole example was the purpose of dating because it's exploring. It's the exploratory phase. See what you like, what you don't like,
what you don't.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
It's just so annoying.
It is. That's why I don't even partake in that.
Yeah.
Dating. So if a guy was like, "Yo, let's go on a date," you want to go on a date with him?
We gotta talk on the phone first.
I would go on a date with him. Yeah, I would.
We gotta talk on the phone first.
Yeah.
How is he approaching me?
I mean, you wouldn't have gave me your phone number if he wouldn't approach you the right way. I would hope not.
You got your profile.
If you got your right. You can get my Instagram. I have my phone. Right. I've done it before too. Yeah, I've had some guy ask my phone. I'm like, no, I'll give you my Instagram.
Because I don't want to set up the expectation that I'm into you.
Right.
So if I can have a phone, because my love language is words of affirmation. I gotta show her this. She needs to see this. Everything's gonna be alright.
That's the same thing they said last time.
But you're the one holding her back. She's gonna be fine after this second shot.
You better not go behind my back. You happy now?
So if I can have a conversation with you, I can just tell by your spirit on the phone, like, where we going with this? Like, there was this one guy, the guy I met at the lounge. When we talked on the phone, it was like, okay, cool. And I still felt like, okay, this is not a date. And I told him, this is not going to be a date. But we can still go out to eat and get to know each other. And I said that to him. And then 2 days later, we end up just cutting it off.
So,
me like that.
You paid for your meal? Since it wasn't a date?
When we broke it off, I cashed up him my half.
Really?
Wow.
I did.
I love that. I was so glad you did that.
Yeah.
But actually, I think you said if you like, I'll give you your money back. And he said, and she said, send me your cash app, and he sent it.
That's right.
Trifling. He sent it.
What
He
he
sent
Because
it.
he gonna say,
he was like,
Lord have mercy.
because what he did when he first talked to me on the phone, we did a lot of phone talking. He was like, I'm celibate. I've been celibate for almost a year, and I'm ready to settle down, looking for my wife. All of these things. We talked on the phone. I'm like, oh, that's so good, blah blah blah. And then when we get to the dinner, it's talking about his celibacy and just laughing, having fun. And then that night I prayed. And then the next day, we got into some dialogue, and he said, eventually I want to get married. Now, I told you words are important to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the beginning, you told me that I'm
For your
celibate,
wife.
I'm looking for my wife, I'm this and that. So, my expectation is, oh, you serious, you know what you want. Even if it's not me, you know what you want.
Right.
But then you're going to come back and say, well, eventually I want to get married. No, I know that we have to get to know each other.
Right.
I don't want to get married tomorrow. But don't play on words like that with me.
Right. And don't forget about what he kept saying about this hot girl summer stuff.
He kept saying hot girl summer,
It's like he just wanted somebody just to,
Exactly.
For the summertime.
Sleep with
really.
for the summertime. So all of that came into play.
So he wanted a hot girl summer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But he made it seem like he was ready for his wife.
Exactly.
When he said, took that cash up, I said, oh, no, he didn't.
Because he going to say, he said, maybe I should have asked you what it is that you were looking for.
Duh.
And I said, well, I told you from the beginning what I was looking for.
Well,
And he said, yeah. And he said, if I would have known this, I would have never spent $100. And I said,
ooh, Tim.
I said, what is your cash app?
Bad investment.
Tim, bad
It sure was, because there was no return.
Disrespectful.
There was no return.
ROI.
But you see what she said? She said, I already told him
That's
what I was looking for. So obviously he wasn't listening.
He was listening because I told him on the phone, this is not going to be a date. We're just going to get to know each other.
And he still decided to pay.
Still decided to take me out and pay. Get whatever you want.
Why did you clarify that it wasn't a date?
Because I felt that it was something there. I just didn't know what it was. But I just knew that it wasn't going to lead to anything serious. So I wanted to experiment. Was
it wrong for him to get his investment back?
Yes.
Why wasn't it a date?
Because for you to sit there and say, well, had I asked you what were your expectations, had I known this, I wouldn't have spent my $100 on you. What type of crap is that to say to somebody? Right. And then you're gonna send your cash out.
Yeah, I said send me that cash app, and he said that.
No, I'm stuck on you had the audacity to send your cash out.
You asked? Didn't you ask?
I did. I told him, "What's your cash app?"
He told the truth. Let me take.
But
as a man, come on, Tim.
And that's probably what I was feeling from the beginning.
He's keeping it real. I wouldn't have. But he kept it real. He was like, forget that.
But see, he still, I don't want to call the man stupid, but like as I said, he still wasn't listening because on the phone I told him
he wasn't
my
listening.
expectation of what it was going to be.
Right.
But you wanted to be all in your head, play this little game. Oh, she young, I'm going to just try to whatever.
He really wanted a hot girl
Yeah,
summer.
he did. And I was telling you that you was like, Precious, there's something there.
Yeah, I said he keeps saying that. I said, I don't think he really wants a wife. He's looking for a little young tenderoni for the summertime.
And when you're aware of everything that's going on, when you say in the beginning, like, I want a wife, I'm this, blah, 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 I'm celibate, and then you turn around and say, well, eventually,
like, you took that as, like, longer than you wanted it to be? When he said eventually? You took that as distant future?
I took it as he's not serious.
Okay.
Because I know that there is a process to this.
Right.
But for whatever reason, you put it out there, and you kept saying hot girl summer. And
multiple
you said,
times, yeah.
and when we're talking about, a man's sexual health and things like that, I was telling him about that, what I learned. He said, okay, send me the videos. I sent him the videos to Dr. Miles Monroe, R.I.P. And
you sent him a pastor?
Dr. Miles Monroe said some good stuff, though.
About a man's sexual what?
Health.
Why would you be sending him stuff like that?
Because he was talking about his celibacy. He said he didn't understand why he would get so stressed out. And I told him that.
Oh, well, you was willing to help him out?
No, I was educating him on why. I was educating him on why that was. I said, I told him like where I got the information from, blah, blah. He said, send me the videos. So I sent him the videos. And I said, hey, you had time to check it out? He was like, Now I'm listening in between here. I really don't like listening to things people send to me. Another red flag.
Oh.
Because you told me to send you the videos.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, do you have trust issues? No, I ain't never been cheated on before. I said, no, I'm not talking about that. And then that's when everything kind of unfolded. So it was everything.
And so he said he don't like listening to videos that people send him?
Yeah, he said he don't like taking information from other people. Videos and things like that. And I was just like, okay,
how do you learn?
Trust issues. Right, you got trust issues.
He had a different request.
Well, he wasn't getting
he
that.
didn't want a video of Miles Monroe.
Well, he told me to send it to him.
Mm-hmm. What was the issue? Like, what is Dr. Miles Monroe? I'm curious.
Damn.
What was Dr.
He was saying
Miles
some
Monroe
good stuff. He was just saying how a man's sexual health is important and how men actually need that.
Mm-hmm.
And how the woman, basically how to make the relationship or the marriage flourish. How important that is to a man.
He probably should listen to that because if he was smart, he could have came back exactly what I'm talking about.
No.
This is what I'm glad he said it. A man needs. No, he couldn't come back.
He couldn't.
Had he listened to it?
Nope.
Like, he's right. This pastor's good. I like him.
Now, if I liked him, then yes, he could have.
Okay.
But I already knew something wasn't there. I just couldn't put my tongue on what it was.
And so what happened after that? Did you guys communicate again? Did you end up just losing the phone number?
Block him?
Okay, you blocked him.
I did.
Pretty sure after she sent that cash app, it was pretty much over.
Yeah, I would have definitely blocked him.
And I paid for half of my tip.
You sent him the tip back too?
Wow.
I sent him the mail and half of the tip I gave back to him. Because just to prove a point.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I don't need your money.
Right.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, he gonna heart the cash app thing. I was like,
petty. Cold-blooded.
Well, you was petty with the tip. I ain't never seen nobody give half of the tip back.
Yeah, I was proving a point.
She was definitely proving a point.
I was telling him, like, I don't need your money.
And he gonna heart the cash app. Lord have mercy.
He's like, thank you.
He did, honey.
Wow.
But it was those expectations that were said.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Because if I tell you it's not a date and you know the end goal is I'm going to pay for this meal and then we're going to sleep together, you had a hidden agenda that you didn't say.
Right. True. I agree with that.
Yeah, that is something that, I know somebody, I mean, that is something, you know what? And why this comes up so much is because that's what you women want to hear. So a lot of guys, again, like we talked about in another show, after a while, the women say they want this, that, and the fourth, so guys adapt and then hit you with what you want to hear. Because that's what you want to hear. Oh, yeah, I'm trying to get married, I'm trying to have a wife and all this stuff. Foolishness. Because most women, listening? You want to get married too? Yeah, I want to get married too. Whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Don't let get your draws.
Right.
Hey, however it works. Whatever I got to say. It's not me, people. I'm just saying.
Speaking.
I don't have to do these kind of tactics, but that does happen. But again, like I said, that's the environment, so you adapt to your environment. So most women, those are key words: marriage, commitment, all that type of stuff. So you're gonna hit them with what they want to hear.
Looking for the one, all that.
And this is something you hear all the time.
Right.
So from a guy perspective, what's the? I'm trying to keep it somewhat PG. But Biggie Smalls had a song, well, I don't usually, the girl, well, you know what I mean?
What?
That term. Well, I don't usually, but you know what I'm saying. But tonight.
Yeah.
So it's not like this is an uncommon thing. Women say it all the time. So it's, like, okay, sure.
So should we not have any expectations in the beginning then?
No, you did the right thing. You made it clear. You know what I'm saying? What you wanted, And if you mean what you say, a lot of times women may not necessarily mean what they say. They may say that, but still, give it up.
Wow.
So that's probably what he thought too.
Yeah. I mean, as I say, that's nothing new to hear that. You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay. So this might be a little bit off, but can your experience also be your downfall too?
What kind of experience?
Like just your dating experience. And now you have this judgment like that guy did with me. He ran across all these other women, and now when he gets to me, he probably already put this judgment on me that, okay, all I gotta do is buy her a meal. Yeah, I hear what she's saying. This ain't no date, but I'm gonna just do it anyway.
Yeah, we got to give it a shot now. You got to go for it.
But if I tell you,
quit it now, you know. You
don't go down and quit it.
Always go for it. You know what I'm saying?
If I tell you this is not a date, but we can still go out and just get to know each other, why would you still do whatever it is that you want to do after I just told you what it wasn't?
Because that was his intention anyway.
So the intention is going to carry itself out anyway?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You know, do what you want me to say, live on purpose, live with purpose.
No purpose.
Live on purpose.
Live on purpose.
Yeah, live with purpose. I mean, if that's, you know, I mean, I guess there was an age, you know, difference there. So, I mean, sometimes that play a role. I guess really age is not that much of a factor, but if somebody's intention is sex, then, you know, of course, again, you say what you need to say to get what you got to get. So.
Wow.
Not that I do that. This is what I've heard.
But I think it's just hard for me because my love language is words of affirmation.
Yeah. And that's difficult because you have to be able to decipher between what somebody's saying and what they really mean. That's difficult.
Right.
Yeah, that's difficult.
Yeah, that the intentions, because I hate having to figure things out. I already think a lot anyways. So me trying to put the pieces together and figure out, okay, he said this, what does this really mean? Like that's a lot to do.
Well, looking back on the situation in retrospect, you automatically felt that something was off.
Right. So happy for that.
Right. So sometimes.
Intuition.
Same
time.
I guess so.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, so I guess that listening to that voice sooner would have avoided the whole non-date situation.
Right.
But that was something internally telling you the words I'm hearing is not coinciding with how I feel about it. So maybe you have to kind of go with your gut feeling more or your intuition. So when you're hearing words, I'm hearing the words, but how do I feel about the words? Okay. That might be a better way.
Okay.
Dr. Tim.
Dr. Tim.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I try, you know, I do what I do.
Okay.
Consultations. No, but yeah, I mean, because you know, everybody's love language is different, and you know, words of affirmation. So a guy could probably like game you up, say whatever, you know what I'm saying? You know, and if you don't really kind of do a gut check, you could get caught up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's interesting. So that's why I feel like expectations should not be so high, I guess, in the beginning. Like you shouldn't have a whole list in the beginning because you are just getting to know this person.
Yeah. I mean, just having casual conversation kind of answers questions in itself. The more time you talk, the more you allow a person to talk, it either reveals that you're a fool, you know, or it shows, you know, who you are the more you talk. So you just sit back and then ask some questions, but it's not like an interview process. You just talk and have a conversation, and then eventually who a person is will come out. You talk long enough.
Okay. And that's how you pursue love.
In pursuit of love.
In pursuit of love.
Right.
It is.
That's right.
Well, this was another great conversation.
Yes, it was.
And talking about, what's the name of our topic again, Precious? It was expectations. So, you know, that was good. Thank you for your insight, Tim.
Well, you know, I try.
Thank you for the amazing question, Precious.
Yes.
And thank you guys again for tuning in for another episode.
Yes.
We'd love to see you again soon.
Yes.
All right.
In pursuit of love, never give up on love.